Auspiciously, we start on Friday the 13th of May with a second positioning run for the Shannon Railtour. Great Southern and Western Railway J15 number 184 was working to Limerick from the RPSI's Southern Ireland base in Mullingar. Their first stop was at Athlone, Midland, formerly a Midland and Great Western station, but closed in 1984. Here she was due to top up with water, although a problem with the water column resulted in a dry trip as far as Athenry. 184 was one of two non-starters for last year's Lough Gill trip, along with Northern Counties Committee 264 tank, number 4. Both featured prominently this year. Ballinasloe, once one of the Midlands' most important stations, has the dubious honour of owning a third-hand footbridge. After a stop at Atherley, number 184 branched away south from the Galway line onto the freight-only route and home territory. From 1901, the line to Limerick was part of the GSWR system. Limerick Junction is quite remarkable. It's around 20 miles from Limerick and sports a wagon works, yet is closed to freight. Most fascinating, however, is the way the Tipperary trains leave from the wrong end of the station and reverse towards Limerick before departing forward over the flat crossing beside the North Box. The J15 completed its day's activities on the triangle to turn both itself and one coach ready for Saturday's Limerick to Tipperary trips. The main tour started on the Saturday. LMS NCC tank number 4 ran bunker first to Ballybrophy before running round her train for a smokebox first run via Roscrea to Limerick. Here the classic LMS tank is departing Bird Hill after a run past. nobody runs rail tours like the Irish. It's a physical impossibility to travel on the whole trip. Limerick passengers were given the option of remaining with the tank to return to Ballybrophy and on to Galway, or to travel behind to number 184 to Tipperary. The two trips would rejoin at Athenry the following morning. The J15 passes the CIE depot at Limerick with the 14:30 to Tipperary. After her initial trip, the LMS tank went on shed and was prepared for the trip to Galway. In Ireland, bagged coal is usually used for convenience. Mainline steam in the Emerald Isle is permitted to travel at line speed. The only exception to this rule is on the 90-mile-an-hour Cork main line, where there is a 70-mile-an-hour restriction for steam. Number 4's outward performance from Dublin certainly created quite a buzz, with both the Railtour participants and the RPSI organisers. This year's glory was a complete contrast to last year, when she had caused much of the drama before the Loughgill trip by failing with leaking tanks. On the return trip, number 4 climbs the Culmastar Valley between Bird Hill and Nenagh. The Railtour was unique for this engine. It was never turned, but both departed and arrived at its Whitehead base facing the right direction. At Roscrea, having taken water, she departs for Ballybrophy minus passengers. Sadly, no passengers are allowed to travel on the Cork main line in wooden-bodied stock. Our final shot for the Saturday is on the Cork main line with number 4 heading for Port Allington before branching off to Galway. Sunday morning saw RPSI passengers in both Limerick and Galway. Number 184 worked up the Innis freight-only line, while number 4 took the two local trips from Galway to Athenry before a midday rendezvous at Athenry. Here we see the 10:20 departure from Galway. At this very moment, J15 was between Innis and Gort, and number 85 Merlin was making its way to Dublin with just one coach. On the Innis line, the Mullingar-based train is seen a few miles north of Crockwell. Both engines and coaches have had recent repaints. The J15 lost its green livery for black. The coaches, previously in orange, were only repainted a week earlier. Athenry produced one of the few occasions where two of the three locos could be seen together. The veteran of the pair departed first, heading for Athlone. About an hour later, fires caused by the 060 still smouldered as the LMS tank headed for Dublin. At Athlone, the trains went their separate ways. The main tour continued on to Dublin with number 4, whilst number 184 headed south to Clara on a local excursion before returning to Mullingar. The Great Southern and Western Railway loco is likely to be retired before the end of the year. However, the RPSI's ultimate aim is to double header with sister J15 number 186 in a few years' time. En route for Dublin, number 4 passes the Boyne Aqueduct between Hill of Down and Enfield. At Dublin, the train was handed over to number 85 Merlin with a trip to Belfast. She's seen here at Drogheda, making an unscheduled stop for water. Note the clear-story coach number 861 next to the engine. On Monday morning, we visited Belfast Central Services to see number 85 depart. The 12-wheel clear-story brake composite, along with Great Southern Railway tri-composite number 1097, owes its return to service to a film contract. Little Bird Films required a Dublin and Southeastern train of 1920s vintage. The cosmetic restoration was paid for by the film company and carried out in 4 weeks. The train reversed out of the depot around 9 a.m. before climbing the bank to the central station to collect its passengers. At Coleraine, the loco was turned on the RPSI-installed turntable. From here, she continued to Portrush before completing the tour, returning to Belfast and then back to Whitehead.